You know that feeling, right? You get a spark of curiosity, this real urge to dig into a topic, but then you get stuck. You just can't seem to turn that big idea into a sharp, solid research question. Well, it's a super common hurdle, and today we are going to walk through a clear, step-by-step guide to absolutely mastering it. Let's jump in.
And before we get going, I really want to give a sincere thank you to the source of today's explainer, author Damar Singh Soud. His work is just a fantastic guide on this topic. And a big shout out as well to the platform Holistic Education for creating a space where this kind of knowledge can be shared. It's people and platforms like these that really help push important ideas forward.
All right, so here's our game plan. Think of this as our own little researcher's journey. We'll kick things off with that initial spark of curiosity. Then we'll move into the exploration phase, and then we're going to get our hands dirty forging our actual question. After that, we'll put it to the test with a quality checklist, and finally, we'll look at why this whole process is so powerful in the first place.
So let's start at the true beginning. You see, the most groundbreaking research, it doesn't start with a fixed answer you're trying to prove. Nope, it starts with something way more basic, way more human, just a simple spark of genuine curiosity.
And that right there is the heart of what's called the inquiry-based approach. It's a complete flip in your thinking. Instead of saying, okay, I think this is the answer, now I'll go prove it, you're saying, wow, this thing is fascinating, and I really want to understand it. It's all about true discovery, not just confirming what you already think you know.
So you've got that spark. What's next? Well, now you enter the exploration phase. This is kind of like the prep work for a huge expedition, right? You've got to understand the landscape, get your bearings, and really map out the terrain before you take that first step.
The first steps here are actually really practical. You start broad. Just pick a topic that genuinely gets you excited or connects to something you do professionally. Then you just start digging in. You read, you watch, you listen, and what you're hunting for are the interesting bits, the patterns that emerge, the things that just don't seem to add up, and most importantly, the gaps, the places where knowledge is just missing. That's where the real treasure is buried. Okay, now we get to the really active part of this whole thing. I want you to picture a blacksmith taking a raw chunk of iron, that's your broad curiosity, and hammering away, forging it into a sharp, precise, and really useful tool. That finished tool, that's your research question.
And this doesn't happen in a flash. It's a real process. You start by just throwing out those big open-ended why and how questions. Then you start pulling together everything you found to narrow your focus onto one specific, manageable piece of the puzzle. From there, you craft that core question, and then you have to test it. Is this actually doable? Does it matter? Is it ethical? It's this cycle of shaping, testing, and sharpening, over and over.
And this example just shows the transformation perfectly. I mean, look at the difference. The question on the left, how are teachers adapting to digital technologies? That's a huge topic. It's like trying to research the entire ocean. But the one on the right, it gives us a specific group, English language teacher educators, in a specific place, Nepal, looking at a specific context, professional development. See, it's not an ocean anymore. It's a deep, fascinating lake that we can actually go and explore.
So, you've forged your question, it looks good, it feels sharp, but is it really ready for the long journey ahead? This next part is your final quality control. Think of it like a litmus test to make sure your question is strong enough for some serious inquiry.
This checklist really covers all the bases. First off, does it actually interest you? And is it important? It has to be open-ended. You want to invite a story, not just a simple yes or no. Of course, it's got to be crystal clear and actually doable with the time and resources you have. And the big one, does it have the potential to actually add something new to the conversation? If you can check all these boxes, you are in fantastic shape.
And that brings us to the end, and maybe the most important idea of all. This entire process we've just walked through, it is not just a means to an end. It's not just about writing a paper or finishing a project. The real value here goes so much deeper. This quote from the author Damar Singh Soud just nails it. When you learn how to ask questions like this, with real curiosity, with rigor, with reflection, you're not just becoming a better researcher, you're actually training yourself to be a better thinker, a more observant professional, and frankly, a more engaged and curious person in every single part of your life.
So, we want to leave you with this one thought. Every great discovery, every big innovation, every single leap forward in human understanding, it didn't start with an answer. It started with a powerful, thoughtful, well-crafted question. Your own journey of discovery is just waiting to begin. So, what will your question be?